Hello, William, and welcome to your chart reading. I'm about to break this down from the beginning to the end, but like not the end, if you know what I mean. Like, I am going to give you the full breakdown of this outline that is the blueprint for your soul, so to speak. Um, the ascendant is your rising. This is how you appear to the world. What people think of you when they first meet you, but also this is the path you came to take. And for you in this life, you came to learn about the path of stability. This means in your previous life and parts of your shadow in this life are that of chaos, instability, control, possession, obsession. These are probably themes you have to deal with in your relationships because of this. They're mirroring traits of who you used to be and parts of who you still have to weed out, even though they may be repressed. They could be obvious, who knows? Because it's really a crazy setup that happens here. But either way, you would recognize that somehow you ended up in drama a lot. And by the end, the goal is for you to be so at peace with yourself in your life and being stable and not having to move or deal with new people or shady people or anything like that. Peace is the goal that you will be achieving in this life. Now, um, your North Node is the hand of fate here, the main reason you came, and how the character you're going to be or the compass you're going to take on the path of going towards stability. With you having your North Node in Sagittarius, um, that's teacher energy, but more like professor. This is also philosopher, um, spiritual guru also comes to mind when you think about this because you have it in the eighth house. The eighth house is all about transformation, overcoming everything that you have been put through and telling your story to other people to help them know that they can get out as well, pretty much. Something that popped out here pretty much was a message that you need to sit down and think through everything that you have been told in your life, but in a way of what are the commonalities. It was meant for you to know there are no coincidences. Everything added up to this reading and this moment of you realizing this is already what I was supposed to be doing. Um, you would do amazing with modeling, coaching, or anything that helps wealthy people get their stuff together. That's important to know because you have it in the eighth house of stock market, real estate, taxes, inheritances, counseling, psychology, trauma, rebirth. This is just all the house of things that build your soul and make you go through things to change who you are. It's about burning away of the old, and that's what you help people to do. You also would be really good at golf and horseback riding because of this. But that's why you came. You came to go towards this. That means that in your last life, which would be down here, it's not indicated right here, but in your last life, you stayed local and you earned money local. And that's all you did for yourself. You didn't really aspire to go out into the world. This time, you're going to be traveling around the world. This is about foreign travel. This is about having a business that affects you, that you start to go outside of where you were born with this going on here. So I'm going to come back around over here and then work my way around the circle. Now that you understand the main thing, everything else that I'm about to explain to you is going to pretty much say the ingredients. What is required? What gifts were you given? What challenges were you given to push you towards this goal of you finally taking control of like your own wealth and your own life and just really having like a kick-ass setup here. Okay, so I just put the transits on here just so as I go along, I can tell you how this is sort of coming together now. So your first house is in Taurus. This makes you pretty. I did not look at your default picture. This is supposed to give you a certain type of beauty with this because the Taurus is the ruler of beauty, earthly beauty particularly. But also with you having Gemini in this cusp, this first house is all about self, ego, identity, and actually how you appear. Um, you are the thinker, the talker, the speaker with you having Gemini in here. And that's one of the first things people notice about you, your looks and what you say. um, this leads to your second house of natural gifts and your principles, your ideas, your values. This is all about things you value and what you can do with your own value to earn wealth. So with this also being in Gemini, this gives you skills in writing, speaking, thinking, communicating. Anything with your younger siblings is connected to that and anything in your local area, because remember, this is where you came from. So what you're doing right now in your life is getting a flashback. This is the North Node and how it's running through the sky now. It is in your house of belongings. You are learning what you need to speak about or what you need to do in order to get the bag, because the North Node runs backwards. So as it goes through here over the course of the next 10 months, you're going to realize, start making money from your writing or your speaking or whatever. Just start putting your value out there. And then that's going to turn into what you are known for. Your reputation is building here. And so you get to this sort of peak phase of developing yourself. This is like your best life here. Going here before you reach this peak right here, you'll get to see a glimpse of, within the next 2 or 3 years, you get to see a glimpse of what you came to be, that stability that you have been seeking. But also note that this will take you through the 12th house next. The 12th house is about isolation. So this might appear that maybe when you get what you want, you realize that a lot of people that you thought were there for you are not grateful. They're not for you. So this is going to send you through a period of isolation with your money. Pretty much, you're going to have a radical change in your wealth because Uranus, the planet of radical change, reinvention, and just amazingness, is coming through the house this way. And by 2026, there will be a major change in the way that things are working for you. Your whole identity in life, as you now know it, is going to change for you. Just know that there's a period here because this 12th house is the house of isolation, karma, mental illness, spiritual connection to the world. So this will be a time where you're meditating and stuff. And then you're really going to get into like physically working on your body and being active and just really getting to the core of who you are. So the next 4 or 5 years is going to be a wild ride. So let me get back here. Okay, I was connecting dots for you, but I hope you're taking notes. Okay, so you having your Mars here. It means your passion is in your words. And never lose that. And that's very important as well. Don't back down from your words and injustice, because there will come a time when somebody will try to get you to use your words and your influence to sway a certain crowd of people, whoever the crowd of people is that is attracted to you for their agenda. Don't do that. That would not be good for you. But that's what this Mars is about here at this degree. Your words and you fighting for your family and the people next to you. That's your big motivator, because that's what Mars is. And it also is linked to your karma. So there's something about your words and you fighting for yourself and what you really believe in that relates to something that you did not get to do last life. Like you did not get to stand up for what you really believed in. You had to give in. And because you have that Scorpio as your backlog, that sort of also means that in the other life, you had to rely on other people for your power. You did not get to have your own money, or you were pretty much forced to earn money based on other people's wealth. So your independence was stripped from you with that going there. So at the end of this cusp here, you have some Cancer. So that means anything that has to do with the home, family, your roots, your lineage, your heritage is a part of the gifts you have to talk about. That could even be houses, architecture, real estate one day. If you have you considered real estate, architecture, and things like that? Anything with the home or food or comfort as well. Now this leads to your third house. Your third house is all about communications, how you talk to people, how you relate to your younger siblings, if you have any, people in your local neighborhood, and short trips, just like 2 hours from where you're regularly from. You are the nurturer. You are the caring person. You're known for, I guess, for being like a family person, just a really nice, like, even though you're a guy, you still have a motherly energy, like the way that you care. But also sometimes it can make you moody as well. You appear moody to people. You can be really into them, and then the next moment you're really not, because this is the crab. This is Cancer energy here. And at your core, which is what your IC is, who you are at your root, you are a sensitive person that appears to have a hard shell with this going on. Now, this leads to you having Cancer in the fourth house. The fourth house is all about home, family, roots, tradition, where you come from. If you having that in Cancer, this probably gives you like a cool childhood, at least you were cared for. Typically with this, there's probably a couple other things in here that make a difference with that. Because I see you have Leo also here, which means there might have been somebody controlling in the house as well, because there's your wound as well. This is the wound that you are supposed to use to fuel you to help other people that have the same problem. Maybe there was somebody who didn't let you do what you wanted to. Your mind is also here. Your Mercury, the way you speak. So you learn how to speak at home. This is somebody who can talk like an entertainer, somebody who is very strong. You are a motivator, positive, optimistic. You inspire other people. But with you having this wound here, there's a self-esteem wound. Like somebody made you feel some type of way about your words, somebody in your family, or maybe your family just doesn't believe that great things can happen. And maybe that changed the way you thought about the possibilities for yourself, even though you're naturally an inspired person. Sometimes life beats that out of us with the people around us. But you know, it's a crazy system. So you having this here also means that this is conjunct the planet that you can't see here, called Regulus. Regulus is the last degree, 29 degrees Leo. And when that is conjunct, which means right next to anything else, this is the indicator that you can receive high accolades for whatever is conjuncted. This is the planet that takes care of your words. So your words, your thoughts are your key to achieving the rest of this chart. Whatever, if you write it, speak it, teach it, anything like that. So this Leo energy goes to the fifth house, which means that once again, this is also where Venus, the planet of how you best earn your money right now, is in you being yourself. Your face has to be your brand, but also your unique creativity. I'd imagine you have a good sense of humor with this going on here. Just the ability to inspire other people. They just enjoy hearing you in your natural way, your childlike enthusiasm about things. Now over here we have your Virgo. That's where your sun is, your identity, how you're seeing, the character you're developing. Your Jupiter, where the greatest expansion is in your chart. And Venus, the way that you actually make money or how you were meant to make money in this life. In Virgo, in the fifth house means your creative expression that heals people. Anything that has to do with health, fitness, nutrition, mind, body, soul, anything that helps people have an easier time in these human bodies, and you expressing that or teaching people or finding a unique way to show them how to do these things is how you would get the bag. That's what you came to do. That's what your identity is set up for. You are of service to others with your words. I mean, what a cool way to go about things, right? Because with this chart, you totally just sit around and think all day. But you're meant to have that mind that just thinks all day because you're being inspired constantly. You're supposed to be writing these things down so you can tell people. Okay, so this leads to the sixth house of the things that you actually have to do on a day-to-day basis in order for you to sort of get to these goals. That is actually where the sun is right now, going against your moon. So that's where your focus is. And you're in your feelings because of this. So being in any partnerships, literature on a regular basis, art, classical music, aristocratic type things, are what you need in your life on a regular basis. Just really reading and literature and English are really on your list. But also, because you have this Scorpio here, and that's where Mercury is right now, you need to be uncovering things. You're learning about psychology, about trauma, about what makes people tick, how the mind works. All these sort of things just sort of really get you going with this going on here. And this area is all about what you need on a regular basis in order to make you feel good. Now, this right here, this moon, in Libra, this was inspired by your mom. This is also things that inspire you. So it's reading, and it has something to do with your relationship with her. That gave you this part. That's a very interesting, I guess, thing to think about, right? So here we are finally at your marriage house, because I know you asked about relationship. Pluto is in your marriage house. That means there was a big transformation meant to happen. I don't know if this already happened, because you're born in 92. So if this is the future, hey, here's sort of a heads up. So in your marriage house, you have the sign of Scorpio. That means there's some control issues, power, possession, but also the possibility of just being like really obsessed with each other so much that you just merge into one person. It's just a really Velcro bond. With you having Pluto there, there's some sort of abuse that goes on in a relationship typically in some way, shape, or form. This could be financial as an option, anything. It's just the control or possession, just a really crazy bond that made a huge change in who you are as a person, because these houses affect each other directly. It was meant for you to have that experience, but then the relationship is going to take a turn, or maybe you even possibly had a second marriage that is on the rocks or on the roster that is more free flowing, more like a special arrangement. Like maybe we're not married, but we know we're with each other forever. But there's a different, like a free vibe over here because of this. That goes more along with sort of you being the great thinker. Once you step into being a person who is known for your words, there's a different vibe or a different type of spouse or different energy that comes along for you. That's not the traumatic one, that's right here. So coming back around, we're at your North Node again. You came to conquer the house of other people's things. That means sort of like Kylie Jenner as an example. Her North Node is in the 8th house. What does that mean? People who make money through taking other people's money, not in a bad way, but other people throw their money at you with this because of what you offer to them, which is what I discussed earlier about the modeling, coaching, or helping other people get their lives together through what you say. With you having Capricorn at the end of this cusp, this also means this is a business for you. But the majority of your Capricorn is in the ninth house. What is the ninth house? The ninth house is the philosopher, colleges like higher universities, spiritual guru. This is about belief systems, foreign lands, foreign places. This is where the biggest energy is happening for you right now. So let me start with what it is for you natally, and I'll go into what's going on in that house for you right now up here. So natally, the planet of radical change was in here. This was always meant for you to realize one day, hey, I'm supposed to be doing something. Because karmically, there was a holdover. This is Neptune, the planet that sort of puts a fog on you. So when you stepped into your independence and dealt with this hidden rage and started pushing it towards something, you would sort of step into your own business, a new phase of it. Now, Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, is here right now. This means your business is about to start getting bigger. But Pluto is the planet of transformation. So during the last year and a half, 2 years, you may have seen your money go crazy because Saturn, the restrictor, was also on it. So everything forced to make you uncomfortable with your money was so that you would be pushed into doing the thing that allowed you to be the entrepreneur you came to be. These two planets will be here until December, and then they'll come off and the restriction on your money will come off. But at this point, there will be a change in your status because this is the house of status and fame. Where your Saturn is. So this was pretty much waiting for you to turn 28, 27, around that time, and 30 for you to reach the peak of who you came to be and who you came to be known as. But when, I'll get into that in a second. So this part, moving into this house over here, is going to change your friendships. It's going to change your network. People are going to fall away. Everything is going to transform for you because of your career. But Jupiter, the expander, is going to change your money. It's going to change your reputation. It's just going to change everything, which is pretty much what we've been talking about this whole chart, that you had big changes coming. Because this is the planet of increase. And this is the location of foreign land. So you will be traveling. I have absolutely no doubt looking at this. You also have Capricorn right here in the 10th house. That's the entrepreneur. This is the brand. If I give this is the house of your career, your reputation, how you appear to the world, how you get the bag in the big way, if you were to follow your passions in life. So this is the Capricorn. The Capricorn is the daddy of the chart, the restrictor, the mature, the stoic, the person who is the business person. That is what you came to be known as. But also with this Aquarius here, the humanitarian, the person who works with a specific group of people to help them be better. Also online, also the rebel, the radical, the revolutionary with this energy going on here. If you have a Saturn here, this means that this was never supposed to happen until after 28. There's some things that are going to happen to move this all around. With me telling you all of this now, hopefully you can sort of move with the wave instead of fighting it, because typically people hate their Saturn return because their lives were so far off track because they had listened to other people their whole lives, that when this happened, everything had to fall apart for it to be rebuilt. If you start moving towards what you're supposed to be doing right now, you won't have to deal with this, because this is going to kick in for you next year. You're going to have your Saturn return, which is a whole nother thing. But this is going to line up with this, and you're going to deal with something that changes things for you, but it's in a way that was always meant to move you into the proper position. Because online, the internet, these are all in the way that you will be known, how you're going to spread pretty much like a virus. So this is the 11th house. This is the 11th house of groups you belong to, associations, the actual internet, your friendships, how we connect to other human beings. That's what this 11th house is. If you have this in Aquarius, this is online. Like I said, this is through technology, but this is through being the rebel, the revolutionary, and the talking, because this is Aquarius in its home house. Now, Pisces here also means film, music, television. This is the house of your fans, or wishes and dreams as well. So if you ever thought about script writing or something like that, book writing, this sort of thing, you would use your imagination, your natural spidey senses, but also you attract people who are dreamers, people who are addicts, people who are seeking help, people who are into spirituality. And with your moon here, you sort of are connected to your spiritual gifts right now, because it's working with this planet. This is Neptune. So any like gifts that you had, any karma or anything, all of that's coming together now. And your dreams are probably lit. The people you run into are probably going to be lit as you step into this. But this is another area of how you'll connect to other people, or the groups of people you will connect to. These are artists, dancers, singers, musicians. These are the groups of people you connect to with this going on here, and it's coming back full circle for you. So the last thing we have here is that your 12th house is in Pisces, so you have a hard time trusting your intuition a little bit sometimes, but you have crazy dreams and your prophecies come through your dreams. But also with you having Aries right here, this means there might be some suppressed rage, something that you have to get out through being physical, like yoga, boxing, just that keeps you sane, literally, because this is the house of mental illness, things that could be yourself undoing. You don't have any planets here, which is helpful, but the energy is still has to be released somewhere. So you release your aggression through your words because Mars is the ruler of this. And with you having Taurus here, sometimes you don't spoil yourself, sometimes you don't treat yourself, or sometimes you're stubborn, or maybe your procrastination works against you with this as well. So you would get that out with your day-to-day life and your healing and your self-expression. You know, so everything for you is about your mind and your words and just allowing yourself to be free, to trust your intuition and just dive in, because that's exactly what this is calling for you to do in order to make the rest of this happen for you. With Chiron here right now, any wounds about your independence or where you are in life are coming up for you now. With the Mars here, you're also dealing with the passion, or figuring out, maybe you're more tired lately because of this also. But you're starting to figure out, like, all right, you're getting your drive. It's in retrograde, so you're seeing what areas need to be fixed in regards to your independence and defining your identity, your body and your mind. With Uranus here, this is radical change once again coming across this, like things are coming into place. This was an awesome reading. Like, I really need to know what you're going to tell the world about, because it's going to be dope. Thank you